Do not be fooled by this tiny little bit of cleanliness in my house, because it's not like this like anywhere else. I'm gonna show you my seed haul from what I bought this season, which was quite a bit. Because I'm so new to this, and if you've been watching at all, I am not an expert. This is not a how-to in gardening. This is a you can watch me learn in gardening. Also, if you're wondering about my shirt, I don't know if any of you guys followed the trial, but it says, can I get a mega pint of hearsay? Now, if you followed that trial at all, then this would make sense. But if not, then just it's Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean. These are all of my seeds. A lot I inherited from my mama. And I used my cousin's label maker to label them and organize them. But I kept these out first because I wanted to show them to you guys before I put them in there. So I'm gonna put these down for right now. This isn't an everything I'm growing video for this year. This is just the stuff that I purchased this year. I already went over the peppers from this season that I bought. If you want to see all the peppers that I planted and the new ones that I got, I'll link the video somewhere. And you guys can go watch that. But these are all of the things that I bought that I want to plant this year new. I really should have organized all of these. I kind of thought I did, but I did not. Okay, here are the melons. Now, last year I had very, very good luck, or not good luck, but you get what I mean. I had a very good success rate with watermelon. Now, my mom was an avid gardener. She knows tons about gardening. My thing is, I'm like, I know that she has a beautiful garden in heaven right now. I'm sure of it. She's got to be just having the best time, if that's how that works. So, but that's how I like to see it. So, one of my best friends, she also lost her mom, and she was a very big gardener. So we like to imagine them gardening together. Anyways, she had a hard time doing watermelon. Or didn't have as much success. So I have no idea why it was such a success. But I mean, the watermelons were huge. I'll put a photo in right here. Just giant watermelon. Funny enough though, the giant ones did not taste that great. So those were composted. But if I had chickens, I'd have fed them to the chickens. Or if I had pigs, I'd feed them to the pigs. But we live in a neighborhood still. We're moving to a property once we build our house. We have land that we're building on. I wanted to venture out with some watermelon this year. One of them I am the most excited for, and I'll share it at the very end. So, strawberry watermelon. It's none of these I've grown. It's from Florida. It's an heirloom by Walt Childs. It's supposed to be super sugary sweet. So that one, and I don't think it gets very big. I was more just wanting kind of variety. The Royal Golden just looked super cool. This is the one thing that Jess on Roots and Refuge always says, that she loves being able to grow unique things that she would never find in the store. So I find it so fun to just even be able to try, even if it's not a success, but just to try and venture out and have some fun. So the Watermelon Royal Golden seems really cool with a yellow rind and it's supposed to be sweet as well. Okay, this one is called a Beni Watermelon. I'm butchering that, I know for sure. Watermelon. And as soon as I saw the name, my mom's name, well, it was Brenda, but from the time she was like 2, they called her Benny. And so this was a must. A must. So they're little tiny, like look how small. They're literally holding him in their hand like that. So that's cool. Okay, so that's it for watermelon of the new. I am going to be growing another one that I grew last year, the more round one. I can't think of the name of it. I'll put it in here, but I'm also going to grow that one. The giant ones that we grew, like I said, didn't taste amazing. I think it was more gardener air, not like that kind of watermelon. It would probably had too much water, who knows what. But I want to have more space for some cooler ones and just like massive giant ones, although it was very fun to grow giant ones. Judah, is that you?
Yes.
How was work?
Good.
Judah is putting down all, because he works for my dad, he's putting down all of the mulch, or not mulch, wood chips on the ground in the garden, not on the beds. So how far did you get today?
Like a few rows.
A few rows? It's gonna be great, because we had to re-tarp it, and by we I mean we hired people, tarped it, and then to kill all the weeds down there, and then put, which basically was like a start over, because the weeds on the ground were so horrible. Okay, so, I'll save that one. Okay, okra. Last year when I grew it, actually, they didn't get really big. The part where they were planted, the water kept coming, like the tube kept coming undone and flooding the whole entire box. So it kept washing seeds away. So finally fixed it properly, and then some of the seeds grew, but it was a very late harvest with them. And I still did not harvest well, because I don't know when to harvest okra. You basically like have a 24-hour time. So the okra I got this year, but one of these, so this one is the Okra Louisiana 16-inch long pod from Baker's Creek, rareseeds.com. I think this is the one that you actually have a little bit longer window to harvest them and to be able to use them without them being like too hard and inedible. This is the Jing Orange. I just thought it was pretty. So this could be the one that you have a little bit longer. I think it's actually, the other one has a longer time, and this one harvests earlier. So it's a shorter grow time. I got greasy grits, green beans, Baker's Creek. They looked interesting. What's funny is I'm actually not the biggest fan of green beans. If they're not cooked enough, I like them to be fully cooked. I cannot have them a little bit, because then they squeak on my teeth, and it gives me chills through my whole entire body. It's like nails on a chalkboard. So as long as I can cook them, the heck out of them. And I just find them really fun to pick and grow. So I grabbed those. Tulsi basil and lemon basil. So I got one from, the Tulsi basil I got from Botanical Interests. This light is gonna be a problem, isn't it? The sun is we're having some issues. And then this one, the lemon basil. This is from migardener. Now, I know I don't plant onions right now. Like I already planted this little, oh gosh, what are they called? Oh my gosh, words are hard. I already planted onions. But I did find last year, because I was like, well, I'm late, I didn't plant them in time, but I'm just gonna plant them by seed and see what happens. Like literally late into the season. They didn't get huge, but I was able to harvest little onions, and we didn't store them. Because they weren't gonna be able to be stored the way I grew them. But I was able to eat them, and it was fine. So I'm gonna try and do the same thing with these. See if I can just plant them late by seed, not yet, but once it's actually past the frost. These are yellow, sweet Spanish onions. I'm not gonna do a ton of these though, because I actually do wanna save this for next season or next time when it's actually the proper time to grow these, because they store well. At least that's what I have heard. So these are from Baker's Creek as well. I wanted to grow a pumpkin, so I haven't grown pumpkin. So like I've said in previous videos, I'm going to be planting in my mom's garden. That it's her beautiful garden, and I planted last year while we were taking care of her while she was sick, and it was a big learning curve, but it was really fun being able to garden and then come and talk to her about it when I would come in and help her. But I've never done pumpkins in that garden, so I'm doing my mom's garden, and then we have a little tiny patch in our backyard that we have to really work on this year to fix, because it's overgrown with weeds and it needs lots more compost. But I'm going to grow some pumpkins back in our yard, I believe, because it's very small, but we're going to do a lot of vertical gardening. I need to go get the stuff to set it all up. We need to be doing that in the next few weeks. And then also, and the variety is, it's a variety of a Cinderella pumpkin, but it's just an orange one. It's not a white one. And then the squash, it's spaghetti squash, but it's somen, kabachi, or kanishi. Basically a spaghetti squash. So at least that's what I think it is. If it's not, we'll be surprised. The ground cherry. I am excited to grow this one. I actually kind of thought I grew it last year, but I didn't. And I'm excited to grow it. So this is the new Hanover ground cherry. I'm excited to just like eat these right out of the garden. Tomatillos, actually had a really successful tomatillo year last year. Like it's the one thing that did the best in the whole entire garden. I really need to do better at pruning though with tomatoes and with these, because I was not good at that, even in the slightest. So this is the Grand Rio Verde. Oh gosh, my Hispanic husband would just not be super proud of my accent right there. But yeah, you get it. Tomatillo. So I love those. A green salsa is my favorite. Hands down my favorite. So I plan to grow so much of these. Last year, sadly enough, I did not save seeds from it, which was really stupid because it was so productive and I don't have the seeds from it anymore. I planted it all. So I'm hoping this one's good. Hoping it's successful. Okay, now I don't have the best place to plant corn at all. But I am going to try and do it in a couple spots. So I just got them because I think it would be so fun to be able to grow corn to do cornmeal. So this is the Corn Bloody Butcher. So very, very interesting name. Sounds like a horror movie. And then Hybrid Sweet Corn Early Sun Glow. And these are from Seeds and Such, these two. Right, yes, Seeds and Such. Okay, now for tomatoes. Tomatoes. I have way more that I'm growing, but these are just the new ones, like I said. So these are all from seeds. This variety is from Seeds and Such. The one thing that bugs me, I'm such a visual person. I really like pictures. I almost want to like print a picture and tape it on the back of these so that I can see. Okay, that cut off. My card was full. Like I said, I wish that these had pictures on them. I don't like that they do not have pictures, but this is from Seeds and Such. I do like their variety that they have. But this is a tomato chocolate pear. So we will see about that one. These just all sounded really cool to me, and a couple my cousin recommended. Hybrid tomato super sweet. So we will see about that one. Maybe I'll find pictures and put them in with this. I think I'm gonna do that. Hybrid tomato jet setter. This one was recommended by my cousin. So I'm excited to try that one. Do you need some, Cruz? You can come fill it up. Cruz is transplanting his
lemon seed, because all my
lemon tree
dirt is getting moldy or whatever.
Yeah, so we're gonna put it in a thing that has better drainage. The tomato sun gold, the hybrid. This one is tomato chef's choice orange, another hybrid from Seeds and Such. Okay, now we move on to In My Gardener. It is the Paul Robson tomato. I'm excited to grow this one. I've heard nothing but good things about this one. One of my favorite ways to eat tomatoes is slice them and then you get some butter and you brown butter in a pan and then you pour it over top of tomatoes and then sprinkle salt on it. Jess from Roots and Refuge showed that and I tried it and oh my word, it was unreal. Like my favorite. Another thing I really like to do is I get some grain-free noodles, pasta noodles. I cook them down, like not boil them in water. Well, boil them in raw water, but don't put a ton of water. So when it like cooks down, then there's a little bit of the pasta water left. And then I put tomatoes cut up, onions, vegetables, whatever. And then I kind of cook it down and make like a pasta sauce with the noodles. Oh, so good. But with fresh tomatoes, it's so good. I went to the store the other day and bought tomatoes for something and they were pathetic. Now this one, In My Gardener's Dr. Now, so many people say it different. Witchy, Weish, don't know. Yeah, that's, but it's the yellow. This one, of course, I mean, most of these I've heard from Jess that they're amazing. And this is one that I really want to try. One of the best comments I saw the other day while watching one of her lives, what she was doing with other people. Someone in the comments said, I bought $100 worth of tomato seeds and I don't even like tomatoes. Thanks to Roots and Refuge channel. Oh, Jess, your love for tomatoes is contagious. Infectious? either way, I like tomatoes though, so I'm excited to try this one. The giant crimson tomato.
Those are my favorite because they look amazing.
Yeah, they just kind of look cool.
I don't even like tomatoes. I like
they
cherry
just look.
tomatoes.
You like
I
the ones that
sucking on
look.
cherry tomatoes.
Like the ones that look cool. Okay, look at this. Speaking of, this was free with Baker's Creek. It's called Tomato Spoon. Did any of you guys else get this free one? Because you get a free packet of seeds when you order from Baker's Creek. Look at the size of those screws. They're tiny, like so tiny. A bunch of them fit in a spoon. That's gonna be cool if it works. Last year we had a horrible tomato year, so I'm really hoping this year's better. And then this is from Botanical Interests, and it is a San Marzano. These are the ones that I want to use to make sauce with. This is that one that I ate at that restaurant in Napa, an Italian restaurant, and they had this spicy tomato sauce that was unreal good. This is the tomato that they used because I asked them, and this is the pepper that they used. The Picante Calabrese, but it's also another name for it that I put in the last video too. But this, I'm excited for those so that I can make sauce. I hope it's a much better year. This is from Baker's Creek, and it's tomato black cherry, just a cherry tomato. And then Sweetheart cherry, another cherry tomato variety. I think it might have been these ones. It is the softer skin. I don't like a tougher skin on a cherry tomato because I like to pop them in my mouth in the garden, and if it's got a really tough skin, I usually spit the skin out.
Can you make sure to bring...
Ran out of card space, so I had to delete more. So here I am back. I showed you all the tomatoes, and now these are sunflowers that I am very excited to grow. One of them I am so excited to grow, but this one it's from Botanical Interest. It's called the tall sunflower, just a really tall, cool sunflower. What? And then this one is Autumn Beauty. Just looks beautiful. It's cool. And all these
homemade
just
sunflower seeds.
no, listen, this one is the Hopi. It's a Hopi black dye. You can use this sunflower seed for dye, for purple dye. And I think that's gonna be so cool. Like, look at the person's hand. Like their hand is so dyed and purple. Come on, focus. Is it focusing? Is it focusing? I think so. Anyways, the Hopi, it's the Native American tribe. It's a brilliant obsidian black seeded sunflower used for making natural dye, saved and used by the Hopi Native American people for dyeing cotton, wool, and for basketry. Medium to large sunflower heads will yield stellar shades from dove gray to deep purple. I'm editing this, and I'm reading off the back of a seed packet. Moments like this make me laugh that I homeschool my children, because I was reading off the back of it and it said dove gray to like a deep purple or something, and I literally read it, didn't even catch myself as dove gray. I was like, oh, they're just trying to be like fancy or something. Like, I haven't heard of this word. It's literally D-O-V-E. Yes, you have, you knucklehead. It's called dove, not dove. Dove. Gray. Like, there's doves that are gray. I guess in my defense, the English language is a bunch of BS, because that is how you spell dove. But dove, like diving into a pool, is not a color. So I should have known, like, it's from a dove. Anyways, I'm done now. How cool is that? I think that's one of the most exciting things I am for growing, and then the watermelon and dedication of my mama. But that I'm super excited about, and that is from Baker's Creek, heirloom seeds. So that is my seed haul for now, and soon, this next week, I will be starting to plant all of my other seed starts for the garden. We already did the peppers because those take longer to germinate, and they just take longer to grow. Do you have anything to say? You're not in the frame. There you go.
I'm excited for those little tiny spoon boys.
Yeah. Oh, and they did send a Japanese wasabi as well.
It's a
Never
wasabi.
heard of wasabi.
Wasabi's not supposed to be spicy.
Yes, it is.
The fakes? Well, it's supposed to be spicy.
No, wasabi
but
is
not as spicy
no, but like
as
what we get in the store, like a lot, not in the store, but like at restaurants, is usually horseradish. Wasabi is very spicy. So, anyway, okay. Can you just not? Okay, go pick up the cards. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Comment some great gardening tips and tell me what you're very, very excited to grow this season. So, God bless you.
Goodbye.
Yeah, just me with my seeds and my Christmas background. Also, I put the title as seed opening because I couldn't remember the word haul. Yep, it's called seed haul, not seed opening. And there's literally a corn pick of all the kinds of picks. It's from corn, just on the table the whole entire video, because why would I move it? That makes no sense.